everybody. I am just so excited to be here. I am Crystal Wilson. I am the Family Service Manager for Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association. And today I get to tell you a little bit about our program, Kinship Navigator. This is a program that is actually near and dear to my heart as someone who was raised primarily by my grandmother. I can see the difference that it made in my life versus that of some of my siblings. And so I just want to encourage the kinship caregivers out there that your work means something. It does make a difference in the lives of these kiddos. So hang in there. We do have help for you on the way. It is through Kinship Navigator, and of course this is a program that CMFCAA started in 2018 out of our Osage Beach office location, and we do lots of different things. It's basically a team of navigators who go through and assist kinship families. And so a lot of people aren't aware of what exactly kinship families are, but those are families who are made up of caregivers who are caring for children who are not their own, but they had a relationship prior to the children coming into care or coming to live with them. That may look like a grandma who has volunteered to take on her grandchildren because mom has a substance issue and just isn't ever around. It could be a formal case where the kiddos have come into care on abuse or neglect allegations, and so once that family member takes official placement through the state, they become a formal kinship placement. We are designed to assist those families, and we do that in a variety of ways: advocacy, direct services. We offer some ability to help with utility bills if a family is getting behind. Most of the work that we do involves stability of the home. So what we do is the navigator comes out, they meet with the caregiver, they go over a snapshot of that caregiver's life and the family in about 17 different areas. So that ranges everywhere from transportation, housing, food, clothing, you name it. We look at it with the caregiver, and then we work to stabilize that area. So if a caregiver is struggling to meet the food needs of the family, we will connect them with local resources, food pantries, those types of things, any type of programs, benefits that are available through the state or federal government. And then if we come down to the end of it and we realize, okay, there just really isn't enough help out there for this family, we have ways to help internally as well through a variety of our programs in different ways. Information and referrals. We refer a lot of families out for behavioral health. Kiddos, a lot of times when they come into care, whether that be formal or informal, they have suffered trauma, and so we try to point them in the right direction to find a trauma-informed counselor. And we also we refer to our Community Connections Youth Project, which is an amazing program assisting children and older youth who have aged out of the formal foster care system or who are preparing to age out. And that runs anywhere from age 17 to 26. And so that's a program we like to refer to. Some of the benefits of kinship care, they're almost immeasurable and fairly obvious, but a lot of that has to do with maintaining the family ties and preserving cultural identity. We have a lot of kiddos that come into care that may be Native American, or they may have certain ancestry that they or their family really firmly believe in, and when they're placed in a traditional foster home with varying degrees of different beliefs, it can be difficult for that child to maintain those cultural identities. So we know that that's important. Increased permanency is always an awesome benefit of kinship care. We know that families who are willing to step in and take custody of those kiddos are more likely to stay together, especially if they're supported in all of those ways that they need. Improved mental health outcomes, decreased trauma. The list goes on and on for the benefits of it. Of course, on the flip side, there are the, we won't call them negatives, but they are definitely barriers in the lives of kinship families. A lot of that has to do with finances. What you're looking at is caregivers who may be in their latter stages of life who were not prepared necessarily to take on 3 small children. And so a lot of them are working off their retirement. They are doing everything that they can to be able to support these kiddos. Other barriers for kinship caregivers, a big piece that we've seen is childcare. We know that a lot of times when you receive 3 children as a traditional foster, there are some things in place that help you to find childcare when you need it. For those informals and for some of those relative caregivers, finding that person or that facility that's licensed and will take that childcare subsidy can almost feel impossible. So our navigators do work to try to help alleviate that burden. Another big one for our caregivers is self-care and leisure. We know that a lot of times they are so busy taking care of these kiddos that they don't have time for themselves. So our teams try to work with that caregiver to make sure that they get some of that self-care and leisure that they need. We also provide education, training, support groups. We do all sorts of stuff for our families. So I'll just talk a little bit about what happens once a family is referred to our organization for the Kinship Navigator program. Typically that referral can come in from an outside agency, whether that be Children's Division, Kids Harbor, the hospital, another local nonprofit. It can also come from the family member themselves. They can call in, they can use our online website submission form, or they can email me directly at Crystal, Crystal, at mofosteradopt.com. And so anyway, once we get that call, once we get the referral with a little bit of information, typically the caregiver's name and phone number, the Kinship Navigator supervisor will reach out and talk to that family member just to kind of get a base assessment of what their needs might be. And then once they have that brief assessment, they will assign that family to a navigator. Once the navigator has the referral form in their hand, they give the family member a call themselves, set up a time that they can talk more about their unique situation. And then they'll set up a time to come out and do a home visit. That may be in the home, or it could be in our office. It could be at a local McDonald's or library, wherever that family feels most comfortable meeting with the navigator. And so once the navigator collects the information that they need during intake, they go back to their offices, they go back to researching, finding the appropriate information for the family, referring, helping to meet any tangible needs that they might have expressed. And then they will work with that family until we address all 17 domains and have done everything that we can to make them as stable as we can. Well, thank you everybody for listening to me talk today. I am again Crystal Wilson, Family Service Manager for CMFCAA. And if you're interested in the Kinship Navigator program or any other services that we offer, you can reach me at Crystal, Crystal, at mofosteradopt.com, or you can give us a call at our main line, 573-298-0258. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
For more information about the Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association, please visit mofosteradopt.com.